I'm Annie. We are going to read a book together today. Please make sure to follow my pencil as we read because I'm going to be tracing along every single word and every single sound that we read. And the more you see the connection between the letters and the sounds that you hear, the quicker you're going to be able to start making those connections really, really fast, okay? So we're going to read a Halloween book because it's almost Halloween. This one is called Franklin's Halloween, and it's by Paulette Bourgeois and Brenda Clark. And this is Franklin, a very friendly, cozy, happy turtle. All right, here it is again. Franklin's Halloween. Oh, one more time. Let's take a look. Franklin's Halloween. Now you've seen both of those words like 3 times now. So that should start feeling a little more quick as you see all those letters and making the connections between the letters and the sounds. All right, here we go. Franklin could count by 2s and tie his shoes. He knew the days of the week, the months of the year, and the holidays in every season. Today was October 31st. It was Halloween. Franklin could hardly wait for tonight's costume party. Everyone would be there. Look at all his amazing costumes. He's got a lot of choices for Halloween this year, I think. Franklin and his friends had talked about the party for weeks. There would be games, prizes, and even a parade. Best of all, there would be a haunted house. Ooh, spooky. I think there'll be bats and spiders, said Franklin. And skeletons, added Beaver. Rabbit shivered. My sister says she saw a real ghost in there last year. That's silly, Rabbit, said Beaver. There are no real ghosts. You see how the letters in real are like a little bit slanted? That's called italics, and that's you put a lot of emphasis on that. You really give it like a punch when you read it. There are no real ghosts, right? It's just like a little cue from the author that that's a really important word. Look at all these friends. Look how cute. This says Halloween party costume contest. Oh boy. All of Franklin's friends were excited because of the costume contest. Franklin wasn't sure what he was going to wear. He'd tried on everything in his dress-up trunk, but nothing seemed quite right. So he's like, got a fancy boa and shoes on in this one. Looks like maybe a spy or something in this one. A king. I don't know what this one is. That is a mystery. He is a mystery for Halloween in that one. Beaver and Goose were keeping their costumes secret. Try to find us at the party, they giggled. Fox was also mysterious about what he was going to be. Look for something. Oh, this is a great word. Get ready. Gruesome. Gruesome. Do you know what gruesome means? It's like a little creepy, a little, maybe a little gross, maybe? Like definitely good Halloween stuff, I would think, if you're into that. Look for something gruesome, he said. That gave Franklin an idea. He would be something creepy. I wonder what he's going to be. Look how fun this classroom is. Oh my goodness. It took Franklin more than an hour to make his costume. As soon as it was done, he sneaked up behind his father and tapped him on the shoulder. Trick or treat, said Franklin. Ah! Gasped his father. Who are you? Good as Dad, just trying to have a relaxing evening with his paper and a cup of tea. What do you think? What do you think he is? What do you think Franklin is going to be? Something gruesome. Something maybe a little scary. Let's see. Ooh. In his deepest, spookiest voice, Franklin answered, "It's me, Frankenstein." Do you know who Frankenstein is? It's kind of like an old-timey, like a classic monster. So that's Frankenstein's monster, technically. That's Frankenstein, and he's saying, "I'm Franklinstein." Get it? That's a good costume. That's a really good one. I like that. All right. On the way to town, Franklin tried to guess who was inside each costume. "At least I don't have to worry about finding Bear," said Franklin. "He's always a ghost." What a cozy town this is. Look how cozy that is. That's so nice. By the time Franklin and his parents arrived, the party had started. Franklin spotted a ghost at the apple bobbing and hurried toward him. "Hello, Bear," Franklin said. Okay, Ziggy, I've tried to record this like 3 times and Ziggy messed it up every time. So I'm not going to let him do it again. "Ooh," answered the ghost. "That's good, Bear," said Franklin. "You sound really scary." Franklin bobbed for an apple. Then he ran to the pumpkin toss. It was his favorite game because he always won a treat. So I guess you throw these like little ghosties and little cats in the pumpkin. He must have good aim if he's good at that game. I like this cool dragon. That's a good one. Let me ask you a question. So he's saying that this must be Bear because Bear's always a ghost. Do you think it's Bear? All it said was who. Franklin's bag was almost full by the time the judges announced the costume contest. While everyone lined up for the parade, Franklin tried to find more of his friends. He thought he recognized Beaver and Goose, but where was Fox? Do you see Beaver and Goose? This is Beaver. Who's Beaver? Do you know? It's a little Red Riding Hood. And then Goose is the fox. Or not the fox. The wolf, right? The big bad wolf. We're looking for Fox. We don't know where Fox is yet. They marched around the building twice. Franklin made horrible monster sounds. What do you think horrible monster sounds are for Franklinstein? Probably like, "Rah." Franklin made horrible monster sounds and shuffled with stiff, straight legs. He won a prize for being the best green monster. It's a good prize. There was only one more thing to do. Go into the haunted house. "You first," said Beaver, pushing Franklin toward the door. It creaked open. Can you imagine that? Like kind of a spooky house, like when the door creaks. A skeleton rattled. Chains clanged. There were moans. Franklin stepped on something crunchy. Suddenly, a big, hairy hand reached out of the darkness. Franklin's heart beat hard and fast, but before he could scream, a light was flicked on. Do you like haunted houses? I'm not a big fan. But I know a lot of people like them, so I'm not going to yuck your yum if you're into haunted houses. But you go in, I'll hold your stuff while you go in, and then you can tell me all about it. That's my vibe. All right. Trick or treat, shouted Mr. Mole. Franklin looked around nervously. Then he laughed. The hairy hand was only Mr. Mole's mop. He was like poking people with it. Here's a treat for braving the haunted house, said Mr. Mole. A ghost came before you. He got so scared he flew away. But Bear can't fly, said Franklin. It wasn't Bear, explained Mr. Mole. Bear is homesick with a nasty cold. Franklin shuddered. If Bear wasn't the ghost, then who was? Bum, bum, bum. He ran back to his friends who were waiting in line for the haunted house. I'm really trying to get Ziggy to not knock all my stuff over. I know. It's so hard, buddy. It's so hard. It's so hard. Don't do it. He's doing it. Don't do it. Oh my gosh. Sit right there. So sorry. Okay. Was it that scary? Asked Fox. You look like you've seen a ghost. Maybe I did, said Franklin. He told them what Mr. Mole had said. You mean that Bear was never here? I'm so sorry. Here, look, now we're really going to focus on the words because someone is covering everything else up. You mean that Bear was never here? Asked Beaver. Franklin shook his head. The ghost flew over them. It swooped low and called, "Ooh!" Rabbit twitched. So what is white says who and flies? A real ghost, answered Goose. Run! Do you think it's a real ghost? Or do you think there's a good explanation for this flying sheet? I bet there's a good explanation. Let's see what it is. Franklin was about to follow when he saw a feather floating down. Stop! He shouted. I think I know who the ghost is. Franklin showed them the feather. Look, it must be Mr. Owl. Even Rabbit giggled when he realized the trick their teacher had played. It's an owl because owls fly. It's a perfect costume for an owl because they fly and they go hoo, hoo. Perfect costume, Mr. Owl. A+. By the end of the party, everyone's bag was full. Poor Bear, said Raccoon. No treats for him. We could share our treats with Bear, suggested Franklin. All the friends agreed. They each put some treats into a bag. Then they walked to Bear's house and left the bag on the doorstep. Trick and treat, they called. Look how happy they made their friend. Isn't that nice? Because it's a bummer to miss Halloween, right? For all kinds of reasons. But really, because that's a big part of it is getting all the treats. So that is so sweet of them. And look how happy they made their friend. Look at these cute little mice. Look at this little door. Even the little tiny mice are going trick-or-treating. I like books like this because there's always like a little extra going on. You can see in the pictures, in the illustrations. On the way home, Franklin looked into his treat bag. Goodness, said his mother. You have enough there to last until next Halloween. Maybe, said Franklin, sampling a few. But secretly, he hoped the treats would last until the end of the week. So he's really planning on having many, many treats every day. I love that book. Franklin is such a sweet guy. I hope you liked that. If you did, you can maybe get this from your library. I'll put some links below if I can find a place for you to get your very own copy for your very own library at your house, because it's nice to read a book a few times on your own without me like blip, 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 talking away. I totally get it. Yeah, and then get a clicky pencil like this. Take all the lead out, because otherwise you're going to want to write on your book, and you don't want to do that, especially if it's a library book. And then you can use it to trace along. So you're really following along and tracing every single sound. Franklin's. It helps you sound out those big, big words. It really helps you to get all those sounds in, okay? Cool. I hope you like that. I think there were a couple of good lessons in that book. One is don't make assumptions, right? Do you know what an assumption is? It's when you kind of form an idea about something, but maybe you don't have all the facts. Franklin assumed that the ghost was Bear just because he was like, I don't know, Bear's always a ghost. It's gotta be Bear. It wasn't Bear. So don't make assumptions. You always make sure you get all the information that you need before you form ideas about things, okay? And then the other one is if you have more than enough of anything and you know that someone might need something, like Franklin had way more than enough candy, and they all decided they were going to give some to Bear because Bear didn't get to go trick-or-treating. How nice was that, right? So if you have a little bit extra, especially these days, it's really nice to give to maybe someone who doesn't have enough, especially if you're not even, I bet Franklin's not even going to miss that candy. Yeah, there's some good lessons in there. I hope you like that. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween. Tell me what your costume is going to be this year. I'm not going to dress up. Maybe I should. I don't know. I think it's a little late, but that's all right. Okay. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween, no matter what you do, no matter what you dress up as, and I will see you soon.